I've forgotten the name of the other officer. Um, I'm filming this. I'm not safe with them because they've sexually assaulted me, they've beaten me, assaulted me. Now, we know all of that. Everyone knows that who watches my YouTube. But uh, the reason why I've called the police, why would anyone do that? Now, I've just had a domestic incident with my partner and I have to report it. On the floor. And I'm having to report it because of his controlling behaviour. Just a minute, please. PC Wellham was supposed to send me an email. She contacted me from a mobile number, and she was supposed to email me to say that the case had been dropped over all this nonsense over refusing to call my partner, my sister, a man. Just a minute, please. I am having to film this for my safety. Williams, nice to see you. Excuse me, pardon me for saying. I saw that YouTube video of just to answer to phones before I had a lot of you were the only officer that I really had any respect for. Yes, when I saw you arrest that animal rights activist. No, I've seen the evidence for myself. She was assaulted by I'm not safe with any of you. Would you like to come in? I can't believe I'm actually saying that, but you need to come in, don't you? Because you need to. I am filming all of this. I am filming all of this with my laptop. I'm a technophobe. I don't have a smartphone. Do you want to come in or do you want to just stop here? No, really, isn't it? I'm not safe to have you in. This is your It's catch 22, isn't it? Well, I need to record all of this for my evidence because I have it recorded what your colleagues did to me at the Strand Hotel. This is very serious. Yep. I've had 3 call handlers hang up on me. What's that? Now, just excuse me, I'm shaking because you are here. Sussex Police. That's why I'm shaking. I've had 3 call handlers hang up on me. I've told them 9 years of. Because I've also left a voice message for you and Morrison, the MP caseworker. I may need to sit down before I collapse because I'm barely sleeping. You're going to have to come in. Could you please tell me your names and your badge numbers? Let's do this professionally. You know me, right? Yeah. I know that you're PC. I got your badge number from that YouTube video, ironically. Yes, well, I'm shocked at you because you were one of the few that I have respect for. I saw on YouTube the evidence of that animal rights activist being assaulted by a fox hunter. That is something that my late mother fought hard to make illegal. And okay, that's not why you're here, but I had respect for you until I saw you arrest that woman, because I could clearly see that she was assaulted by that woman from the traveller community, but that's not why you're here. You want my further story for that? You were directed to arrest her. Even though I protested. You actually protested. Well, it just goes to show YouTube doesn't show you everything. So he protested the arrest of that woman you can clearly see being assaulted by a by a by a psychopath fox hunter. It's not in my statement, but generally that's what happened. Well, that's interesting. I really do. Thank you very much for your honesty, because I truly appreciate honesty. We've always gotten very well, haven't we? Yes, that's why I was shocked that you did that. So there you go.
Well,
there you go. There's a lot of things you don't see on YouTube.
There's a lot of things that we're made to do that we don't always agree with, and that was definitely
Well, I appreciate your honesty. I can't believe I'm. That's why I am. Now, I've got a broken. I'm not trying to get my partner into trouble here, but this is what's happened. It just broke. Doesn't matter. Look, there is something far more serious than this. I'm going to put it on your faces and me. And I know you've got one. The thing is, YouTube, what your officers did to me over a forced voluntary interview. There's just your mere presence here.
I'll get your water.
Thank you. I think I'm okay. Thank you. Just give me a moment, please. Yeah, and Darren's aware of that. War crimes. War crimes. It hasn't been you, no. But you realise that yes, I am permanently traumatised because of the uniform. Just seeing it on YouTube, I've commented on what happened, what some American officers did, and I'm shocked at them because ours are supposed to be the worst. With the tyranny that's going on right now, I'm up to date with all the YouTube videos. I know what's going on. I know what they're doing to Tommy Robinson. Do you know why I want one? I was, excuse me, this is PTSD, I think, anxiety. I've been so terrified of being made a political prisoner. I've had a sheltered middle class upbringing. I went to let women speak. Kelly Jade Keenan, turned up just days after the bruises of what they did to me because I'm refusing to call my transgender sister a man. There have been false allegations. Would I really? Do you really think? I mean, what? You've got some seriously mentally deranged people working for Sussex. Well, for the whole of this country. I'm thinking I want to leave this country, but I'm too vulnerable. I'm a vulnerable adult. But for the first time ever, I want to get out. I want to get out. I just had three call handlers cause me so much, just the noise that comes out of their mouth. Antagonistic. When I've got a landlady in contempt of court. She was told on the 8th of August last year by District Judge Harper she could be sent to prison. In this town, she's friends with the property managers from Belmore Road who are protecting convicted criminals. Yes, a notorious council halfway house. She was friends with the property managers. She never told me that. That's why she told me she wanted to help me write a book, and that's a bit strange for someone you've only just met. But she knew about my YouTube channel because I've got evidence on this YouTube channel. I haven't uploaded this yet, but I've got evidence of me being attacked, blood on my door, bedroom window smashed, a sergeant telling me to purchase a dictaphone to record antisocial behaviour, and they arrested me. They've done this again and again. I'm not even set, so I can't even. So the irony here. Sorry, I just had a text. I have to look because I just need to be sure who this is from. Oh, sorry, Barclays. In case it was Darren or police. Because these serious things that have been happening with the Eastbourne Borough Council and the police have only been happening since I've been with Darren. And this causes a lot of this. I'm in a perpetual state of Darren's behind this. Now, I just had to explain something very delicate and very difficult for me to explain about Darren to a call handler because I've got a form of OCD. And I've just had now I a few weeks ago he assaulted me for no reason. He pushed and shoved me and I didn't press charges. I'm protecting my partner. Yes. But this was after what your officers have sexually assaulted me. I don't have the evidence of it because I don't have a smartphone. I just have this laptop, this cheap crappy phone because I don't understand smartphones, and a dictaphone that's got a lot of that dictaphone has got a lot of criminal evidence on it. This local MP is still not acting by law for me. The local authorities. Do you know what? I had a Dr. Caro from the Lighthouse practice, my GP practice. Wait till you hear this. You, I could be here forever telling you. He threatened to call the police. I went there with an elderly acquaintance of mine from Wetherspoons. All we did was we said, would you contact Ewan Morrison, the MP caseworker? We went, and he just, and yet the manager had just said, we can't contact the MP, but we can contact the caseworker. So why did I then have a doctor threaten me with police? They've now deregistered me. I've got it in writing from a Dr. Webborn. Just a few weeks after this landlady, who illegally locked me out of the house, which is a serious crime, she'd already attempted an illegal eviction in March. Your officers came round. The same officer that was with you with that animal rights protester turned up. Anyway. So this landlady has been bullying and harassing me because she knows Charles Justin from Charles Lucas Property Management, Brighton Housing Trust. Everyone's in on this corruption. That's why all these cowards are scared of me because I'm speaking the truth. The duty solicitors at BHT were going to help me make a counterclaim. Then they decided not to because this narcissism, they had protected a convicted criminal who was later mentioned in the BBC News as mugging the elderly with her mother for a second time. And I've got the recorded evidence. I recorded the neighbours supporting me. I had the neighbours supporting me, but the police were arresting me. Even PC Scott, what's his name? PC Scott Franklin Lester, yes. He's retired, yes. And he got all his medals and everything. 3 hours after I recorded, terrified for my life, I recorded a criminal on a tag threatening to beat me senseless at 3 o'clock in the morning. He turned up 3 hours later. I said, thank goodness you're here. He was arresting me. I can't count the number of times your officers have tortured and arrested me. Now, the bizarre thing is, I barely had any contact with the police in my life, apart from when a PC Dixon and Sussex Eastbourne Police helped me put someone in prison for attempted rape in 2011. Now, I'm a vulnerable adult. I'm that vulnerable that I'm even don't. Well, I have to say it. There's a hotel guest here who's hotel. No, I'm a grown adult, so I'm not going to make a big thing of this. But I had a bit of sexual harassment even in this hotel. But I haven't reported it because I'm a grown adult. I told the manager he knows about it, and I don't want trouble. No, I don't. But I'm just letting you know. I don't. You may, yeah. I don't know. What had happened was I just got chatting to him. Because the way I do. went into his hotel room, and as I said, I'm not going to make a big thing of it. And he was a little bit all over me. And I'd already told him that I'd put someone in prison for attempted rape, so I don't know why he was. And I told him I had a partner. Well, he was. I was showing him a video of Marion on YouTube. Marion, who in Bexhill, who is the victim of an illegal eviction scam, and again, it involves all the corruption. So like I said, I'm not going to make a big thing of this because you know, yeah, you see where I'm going with what. So I think it's important that I mention it, um, because it just shows how vulnerable, extremely vulnerable. People just think they can do what they like with me. Police, the lot. I went into this man's room. I told him what the council had put me through, the MP, this landlady that's in contempt of court. I just opened up to him, and then I told him about the solicitor. It doesn't matter if I say this because Marion has said it on YouTube. She's an ex-forensic lawyer. She's a retired forensic lawyer. She's 86. She was saying how Mr. Holden has got 16 pages of corruption against him. Guess what? Including sexual harassment. If you don't believe me, I will find the YouTube video for you myself. Hey, this is in Bexhill because I'd like to meet Marion because Mr. Holden, you only have to read his online reviews. He left me in tears 3 times. District Judge Harper told me to go to Mr. Holden, to go to the local MP, to go to the council, all of whom have done nothing. And you wonder why you've then got this vulnerable adult who's going into a stranger's room, discreetly, of course, at discretion, as a consenting adult going into someone else's room. But as I sat on his bed showing him the video, he did put his legs over me, and I didn't like it. And I'm not always. But I'd already said I have a partner. And now I went onto the seafront with him. I cried to this hotel guest about how your colleagues have helped push me to suicide, push and push and push and push, along with the council. And I was crying to this stranger with his arms around me. I don't mean to be rude, but he stank of fags. Sorry, I'm very loose with my words. Yes, yeah, that was okay. Yeah, that's fine. And because that amount, he was comforting me. I'm terrified of being made a political prisoner because I've refused to call my transgender sister a man. Yeah, well, when he knocked on my, I was in another hotel. I was. He knocked on my, and I just happened to have a towel around me. I haven't had pajamas to hand, and he was kissing and touching, and I said no. I said no, and I did say no. So what makes me angry? Pardon me. I know some men are, well, a lot of men are like this. Not some men. I've had it from a lot. I'm used to this. But I said no several times. And at one point, he said, "Come on." I said, "I've just taken something." Now, I don't have a home, a doctor's surgery. This is all illegal. This is willful medical negligence, as well as the local MP, because I've left a voice message for him about this, in distress, of course. Because Darren is getting angry, saying, "Well, you isn't doing anything," and so everyone's batting it back. It's not my problem. It's not my problem. No, it's no one. It's never anyone's problem until someone finally kills themselves. Um, yeah. So I was just going to get back to that. So I've got nothing to help me with insomnia. So I've got some sleepies tablets. Which I take. Which I said, "I know I'm too tired," and he said, "Come out, come on." And he said, "What?" if there's any way to manipulate a vulnerable woman, especially me, it's go on, I'll make you a cup of tea and I'll listen to you, because that's all I really need, isn't it? But he was hugging and kissing, and I said no, and I pushed him just on my face, and I said no. At one point, he pulled my towel. I said, "You pulled my towel." Oh, I saw a nipple. Now, I'm saying that after what I've told him about how two police officers, PC Howard May, EB334, and PC Mufali, sexually assaulted me because they exposed my breast. And as a rape victim, do you see that this is the sort of thing, when I'm telling you right this very second, it only has to take, and a person can flip. Could. No, no. The thing that really annoyed me, he came into the room. I'll tell you what actually scared me more than that, because I'm used to men being like, "Oh, you're beautiful, I love you." Oh, no, no, I don't mean that in a big-headed way. Sorry, that sounds big-headed. It's not. You know what I mean. I mean, crumbs. I've seen what those. I've watched on YouTube. Sorry, I'm pointing to the TV. What those undercover officers are doing. Look, cat calling, wolf whistling. My late mother would be 87. I used to love all that stuff. I don't like it now, in the same way I don't like being called a rude name. But I believe that we all have freedom of expression is our human right. So, and I've actually had your officers call me a cunt, which is far, far, far. Yeah. So anyway, I watch these videos of the police to have a laugh. That's my therapy. That is my therapy. What's going on? Well, anyway, you know. But anyway, like I said, I'm not making a big thing of this. I'm a grown adult. I just think you need to know how vulnerable I am, because when he came into, because I'll tell you what it was that worried me. It was the point when he forced his way in, and I said, "Look, I'm tired. I want to go to sleep." And he lay on my bed. No, this was in another hotel room. No, it was this hotel. I think it was 200. I might, actually, I don't. I can't remember the number. I thought it was 201 or something. Um, but it was. This was a couple of weeks ago or so. Now he said to me he was doing work down here, so I don't know. He pinpoint the day. I think the manager might remember, but I'll tell you the thing that worried me, and that, because this is the thing, this is the crux of it, is when he fell on the floor. I don't know if he had been drinking or taken something, and I said, "Look, stop that. If people complain, you'll get us into trouble." And he said, "You pushed me." Now that scared me, because with someone that you don't know, they know that you're extremely vulnerable. How would I know if he's going to go and say to the hotel manager, Amal, she pushed me? So I, like I said, I'm not trying to get that person into trouble. I'm just trying to say this is how extreme. I'm not. So do you see the irony here? I'm going into a stranger's hotel room, not because I want to, but because I need to tell someone about the corruption. This landlady has committed a serious, well, it is a serious crime. I had another law firm say that is a serious crime, illegally locking a tenant out of. That's why the judge told her on the 8th of August last year, "Do you realise I could send you to prison?" And then he got funny with me. Well, you need to go to Mr. Holden to get the committal papers. So I'm doing the hard work to get law enforcement. I've had harassment from in an email. I'm completely on my own. And I have just had, here I am sitting here. I didn't want to open the door to you because, for obvious reasons, because of everything I've just said, because I've been beaten by the police, sexually assaulted by the police, 9 years of this hell. Darren took a caring role through Care for the Carers. Now, I did care work 20 years ago, paid care work. I went along with this nonsense. Caroline Ansell suggested I've got more problems than I've ever had in my entire life.
And I know you had
Can I just finish? Can I just finish by saying, look, because I realise now what I'm doing. Because whilst what I've just told you does matter, that I'm speaking to you in a heightened state because of call handlers. Okay, I wasn't like this. I wasn't even nearly. Well, actually, no, that's not true. I was like this with Darren. No, of course I was. I was crying and I was. So obviously, I initially reported a domestic incident over Darren because I wouldn't wash my hands after touching a sausage roll. Well, look, I'd rather use the word harassment because, well, it is.
I mean,
Oh, look at me! I'm protecting a complete stranger. Oh my gosh!
I need to make sure that there's adequate safeguarding in place for you. And also make sure you're safe.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this. I put everything on YouTube, and I've actually addressed. I addressed what he did to me, and I said, Jesse, if you're watching this, I told you I'm an honest person, but I was very careful. Yeah, this is just me. Okay, you might think like this is strange. Why are you making a YouTube channel? Why are you documenting everything? Well, why anything? Oh, you're okay with it. Oh, that's good. I'm good. I'm glad to hear that. And I really do. I genuinely appreciate your honesty because I honestly thought I was, I thought you're arresting a woman that I have seen being assaulted, that I have physically seen on YouTube being assaulted. Yeah, but then what? You said, oh, the animal. Well, okay, well, it's none of mine. Sorry about this hair thing. Yeah, sorry. It's just from what I've when you see something on YouTube, you immediately think things. Yes. Like I know what will happen. I'll put this on YouTube. He sees it. He sees it. He said his name is Jesse. That's all I know. That's all I know. Yes. Yes. Like I said, the only thing that worried me was when he said when he pretended to fall off my bed, pretended, and then he said, "You push." He said, "Give me a hand." I gave him a hand. Bear in mind, I've got a towel around me. He said, You pushed me. I said I didn't. I said no, and that's when I said to him, now this is not funny. I said to him, this is not funny because to him it might be funny. It's very serious to behave like this with someone you don't know, and we're grown adults. He told me he's about 50. So, we're grown. Oh. I know that I have got a problem. If I can get to the age of 43 and still be, but then of course I am also in Stockholm syndrome. I'm not being, let's just, how can I say, I'm not being as angry and I can't even use the words anymore. It's trauma. I'm in Stockholm syndrome with Eastbourne Police, Sussex Police, because of what has happened since I've been with Darren. It and it's been all this, just one great big mess of. The thing is, you turned up. I'll give you an example because you know there's an irony here, and if I put this on YouTube, I want people to see because you turned up to the DGH hospital where all night long on my birthday, my yeah, it was 2023. It was 2 years ago. It was my 41st birthday. All night long. I wasn't intoxicated. I only drink alcohol if I think I'm going to try and jump off Beachy Head, but I don't drink. So I wasn't intoxicated. I don't even smoke. I don't drink, smoke, take drugs. I don't even take prescription drugs. Although I do need something to bloody help me sleep, pardon my language. But your officers several times had assaulted me, and they had taken, talking about it, they took x-rays of what the officers did. They handcuffed me, they put a strap on my legs. I was actually very frightened. Right, so what I'm telling you right this very, very second about your colleagues, and I want this on YouTube for everyone to see, because I will take this to death with me. What the female PC Lines, the bald-headed thug, PC Ford, and the other one, what was the other one? The worst one, PC, same surname as me, PC McCarthy. He called my partner, because I'm going blank now. Yes, no, it wasn't me. He called my partner, he called Darren a CUNT to my face. That's piece of, I tell you what, I did something that I would never ever do normally. I prayed out loud. Why? Because Darren has encouraged my faith. Bit strange, yeah. So I've got all this narcissistic abuse going on, calling my partner a CUNT. I had a nightmare about that. I had a nightmare about that thug, and I even told them, and they laughed about it. It was my birthday. I had just had news that my father had died, and I want everyone on YouTube to know about this. I want people in the UK and America and every bloody where to know about this. I had been locked out of a supported accommodation, SDR living, on news my father had died by people who are supposed to be trained to deal with complex needs. I did paid care work over 20 years ago. I've spent my whole life trying to be. You know what I'm like. You know what I used to, people see. Oh, the beachy head chaplain. What's her name? That nice one. A lot of people like you, Bryony. I wonder how they'd treat me if I was a scumbag. Maybe they'd treat me well, just like they protected the criminals who are mugging the elderly. And your officers get medals for this. I have to get this out if it's the last thing. If it's the last thing I ever say on this earth, because I now that I've actually got a police officer sitting with me in front of me. I know you're a welfare officer, I know that. But the fact that you're sitting down and I can actually say this without fear, what they did to me was worse than attempted rape. I had full on, they took photo. I went to the Saturn Rape Victim Centre in 2011. Do you know what that PC McCarthy was saying to me? He said, "You talk shit. The filth, the vile." I shouldn't, if Darren was here right now, he'd say, "Don't speak those words into this room." And I agree with him because I don't want those filthy, vile, foul. You are paid to serve and protect, and I've now had war crimes committed against me. I've gone to the Free Speech Union. Kelly J. Keane doesn't want me to speak again, yet PC Hall encouraged me to go back there again. Well, Irish Una, tell me what... I don't know why they didn't want me to speak again, but that was very strange. Is she part of controlled opposition? Because there's a lot of nasty stuff coming. I don't know who to trust. What Tommy Robinson has said about Nigel Farage. So anyway, without going off on a tangent, what I'm trying to say is, I said to Kelly J. Keane, I've got bruises. It's on YouTube. What Eastbourne Police did to me at the Strand Hotel. I had turned down a voluntary interview just after the Supreme Court ruling in Parliament, Supreme Court, isn't it? Yes, to say that a biological woman is a woman. Now, there have been false allegations. They said, how can you, what the hell is going on? In September, so let's just get this right. So, the 8th of August, the landlady, District Judge Harper, tells the landlady he could put her in prison. Tells me to go to Mr. Holden to get committal papers. 3 times this solicitor left me in tears. So much so that the Pier Hotel manager, who I had an issue with he was a little, he said something inappropriate and did some, and I said, Darren doesn't want me to repeat it, but Ewan Morrison knows about it. Because he put his finger on my knee, and I said, could you not? I was, but I did again. It's like the same with this. Do you see what I mean? He tried to give me a copy of the Quran twice, and I said no, thank you. I haven't even had my partner's Bible. But you lot are locking people up for being Christians. My partner Darren brought me to the name of Yahweh. He's got a Hebrew Aramaic scriptures Bible. People say, is your boyfriend Jewish? No. Now I don't like to say Christian, and I'm not going to get into why. But, you know, I've got a hotel manager trying to give me a copy of the Quran, and I'm going to be very careful about because I am trying to keep a low key in these hotels because I've had abuse in several of these hotels. The Strand Hotel, which was on GB News for illegal immigrants, where your officers brought 2 police cars plus a van out to arrest me. Right, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to drink some water, sorry. Because there's so much that has happened, so much. I am on my own, and I'm having to stay calm because this is how I now realise this is how people get Alzheimer's, dementia, cancer. Across the road, right? My late mother sold the house in Seaford. I moved to Eastbourne to get support. Directly across the road there, directly across the road, opposite this hotel, is a supported accommodation where I was meant to get support when my mother was dying of cancer. I didn't get the support. There's so much I could tell you. I was given pills unprescribed to me, antipsychotics when I'm not even schizophrenic. I've since learned that social worker landlord who told my dying mother he could get a good pension out of it has since died of cancer. Oh, the irony. And he was telling me I might want to check I haven't got cancer. Well, tell me why. Tell me why. When you turned up to A&E, I was in my pyjamas. No, I don't think I was in my pyjamas at that point. I think it was days after. But I had been locked out in my pyjamas leading up to my 41st birthday. I'd been locked out of the supported accommodation flat in my pyjamas. You call this support? On news that my father had died. I still don't know how my father had died. And guess what? My late father's inheritance has nearly completely gone on these hotels. I hadn't seen my father for 30 years because my eldest sister chased him away on my 12th birthday. I've had a swan advocate say to me, Joanna Standing, she said, your sisters illegally went through your father's things without you. Wait till you hear this. This is a real humdinger, this one. This is leading up to when I saw you in A&E, before I was beaten and horrifically abused by your officers several times. Yes, it was my 41st birthday. It was March 2023. You were there with a female who, guess what, threatened to arrest me when I had just been. That's all you do. You threaten to arrest people. So let me just. So what had happened was when you saw me, leading up to when you saw me in A&E in March 2023, what had happened. And this is something, guess what, Mr. Holden was going to help me make a subsequent civil claim against the council with, because this is something I'm now telling this new solicitor about. Darren hasn't helped me with this. I've had to find another solicitor because he left me for 5 months being abused in the Strand Hotel. I've been paying for these hotels with money that is nearly. I spent thousands of pounds on these hotels. So let me just, sorry, because I'm raising my voice. Let me just bring it down. So when you saw me in A&E in March 2023, after all night long being beaten, I had a ripped shirt, and you said to me, "Oh, we'll just sew the button." I'm not mocking you, but you said to me, "Oh, just sew the button back on." They broke my phone. I had to have X-rays. The mental and physical torture of what they have done to me. I don't even feel safe in an NHS hospital anymore. I don't feel safe in A&E. I've had staff say to me and Darren, who have also previously been assaulted, that they did nothing about a drunk for 3 hours. They always target the easy targets, don't they? So getting back to what I was saying, I'm sorry, I keep repeating myself. Leading up to what happened when you saw me in A&E in March 2023, I had been locked out of my SDI living flat, supported accommodation, a brand new flat of just 4 months on news that my father had died. I had an email. They weren't doing anything. I had abuse from the night porter. Someone told me that he was sacked after 25 years of turning up drunk. I can believe that. And these are the staff who are supposed to be trained to deal with complex needs 24/7. I'm being beaten to death here, and I still don't know how my father died. But wait till you hear this, because this is the real humdinger. The Lansdowne hotel manager intervened, Andy Canfield. Guess what? Andy Canfield He's now in prison. He was then sent to prison for 7 years. He's in prison now, serving 7 years for defrauding a lot of people, including my eldest sister's friend Louise, who was on the local ITV news. I am that traumatized by my own sisters that I can't even read a fucking text from Tanya. And they've illegally gone through my father's things. Pardon me for swearing, I don't usually swear. This is trauma coming out. This is the effect of ongoing narcissistic abuse that I have had to deal with all completely on my own. In the same way that those scumbags, the support worker, the social worker who were in it for their profit, when my mother was dying of cancer, I've even had abuse at St Wilfrid's Hospice. The councillors, you turn to the councillors, the members of the council, you turn to the local MP, no one's interested. No one cares. This is so the reason why I'm speaking to you in this heightened state is because your call handlers have put me in this state. I've recorded 3 times being hung up on. It is only by sheer prayer and praying to Abby Yahweh, because that Darren has encouraged my, yes, sorry, I've got this silly thing in my hair. It's praying to Abby Yahweh as Darren has encouraged my faith. So I'm in a catch-20. So much has happened. Men went into my brand new flat against my will. They cleaned out. I'm in arrears paying for storage in several places because of this evil council. All these evil people who know about my YouTube channel. I've exposed all this corruption. I've been arrested for reporting assault. And as I said, the individual that I put in prison and on a sex offenders register for attempted rape, I laughed it off. I dealt with that on my own. I got no support in the community, and that's fine because it didn't bother me. I'm used to men touch. I've had it since I was a child. My mother and I were touched up as children. We have that resilience. It's fine. But the point of the matter is the very people you go to for just, I mean, I'm thinking to myself, I did paid care work. I'm on severe disability. How can I have mobility issues? Darren's friend Charlie has written to the House of Commons to Josh Burundi, who's done absolutely nothing, made out he's a victim of my YouTube channel that's got criminal evidence on it. And Darren's friend Charlie has written a letter to him saying I've got mobility issues. You couldn't make this stuff up if you tried. I've been deregistered from my doctor's surgery just because me and an elderly man asked Dr. Caro to contact Ewan Morrison, who hasn't got back to me for months. I have left so many voice messages, and they're calm and quiet, and they're like this. But the moment you're being antagonised by Sussex police, by argumentative people, you're talking over me, you're this, you're that. If we're going round in circles, I'm going to hang up on you. That's what I have had from 3 call handlers. Do you want an ambulance? She said, do you want an ambulance? Because I really do feel it's coming up to, it's 9:40 in the morning. It was about 7 o'clock in the morning when I reported the incident. Me and Darren have barely had any sleep as it is. Darren was abusive to me because I didn't wash my hands after touching a vegetarian sausage roll, and because he was driving me nuts because I then touched this without washing my hands. He was shouting and swearing. And excuse some water. Sorry. I'm going to have to take some more ibuprofen. What do you call it? Ibu. I'm a bit worked up to say the least. I'm having to get a lot off my chest. It is helping, yes, it is, because you need to hear this because of what I then need to bring this to, because these three calls. Let me just, could I? Excuse me. I hope this is still recording. Yes, it is. Yes. Because I had a woman in a local. I said to Darren, I said there's a woman said to me, your partner should be. Why isn't he more concerned about what was that? I said that to Darren. Oh, everything's just. Oh. Yes, sorry. But I don't. Yeah, but it's not. It's not. I don't want to prosecute this. I mean, yeah. No, I appreciate that, but I don't even know what I can't even see the wood through the trees anymore because of everything that's. I. It just seems, with all due respect, it just seems like, and this is what I said to the three call handlers who have put me in this state, because they were argumentative. Two of them hung up on me. I'm used to it. If I get cancer, I'll know why. But I rebuke that in the name of Yahweh. But I mean, Darren doesn't even like me saying the word fart, and yet he was effing at me because I didn't wash my hands after touching, and he doesn't usually use the F word. So I'm upset, very, very, very upset. I've had these gifts for him in these bloody hotels. I've got a bag of gifts there that I was going to leave a suicide note on. I'm being deadly serious. I've had them for months in these hotels. Oh, my birthday was in March. I've had beatings from the police. I've crappy 40th birthday self-funding the Cavendish Hotel for 9 months just for my safety, because Councillor Robin Maxted, Councillor Stephen Holt, the whole damn lot of them. Yes. 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 No, no. What happened was, yes, he stepped on my he broke my. Yeah, I know. No, I know. I know. No, 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 no. It's this. I said, look, I'm not. I'm in a catch. Like I said, I'm in a catch 22. I'm protecting Darren, but I kept saying to him the importance of. I said it is abuse. It's controlling behaviour. Now, the thing is, like I said, this is where it's all messy because and difficult, very extremely difficult. Because I've got OCD, he's got OCD. I was saying, well, like now he didn't want me to eat anything. No, 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 not at this time. He tells me that I can't eat something. I said, Darren, you're not going to tell me what to do, but maybe I am slightly afraid of, not afraid of him, but afraid of upsetting him, and there's a difference. Yes, yes. But look, he assaulted me a few weeks ago, which I reported, and I didn't press charges. But I said to Darren, it's serious. You can't just say stress made me do it, because I was crying. I said, "Why are you salting? Why are you doing this?" And you just shove it for no reason. I didn't say anything or do anything, and his neighbour came out threatening to call the police. And Darren's gone back to his flat. He's got valuables of mine. He's doing things with my things. He's putting things of mine into storage. I can't see what he's doing with them, but I'm obviously, because he's my partner, I trust him to look after those things. Now, when he comes into my space though and says you can't eat something or you can't, he's doing it out of concern. He just doesn't want me to be all clogged up. Yes. But if I'm hungry and I want to eat something, I'm a grown adult. I can make that decision. So I said to him, and I knew I knew what was going to happen because this is what he's like. Now, this is where controlling behaviour and OCD are. It's a sort of one of those areas, isn't it, where it's, you know.
Is it the same for yourself?
Well, with me, it's been a clutter problem which the council and people have added to, and this is something that the advocate at the food bank who got me on PIP said I've got undiagnosed OCD. She knew it. This is what I've been asking for help with. When I was in supported accommodation, I've been exploited. Supported accommodation is a scam. It's a council scam. They don't like me because as someone who used to work for the homeless, someone on YouTube who used to work for the homeless team, he said supported accommodation. He didn't use the word scam, but words to the effect, it's just another way of not getting vulnerable people into housing. That's how people like me get exploited. It's a scam. So I am paying storage for other people's clutter. The local MP caseworker is meant to have looked into my garage storage. I'm also paying, I've had Mark Radcliffe in Hailsham. Oh, I shouldn't even be saying this. I'm in arrears paying for storage, but I'm paying for storage for other people's clutter because of what the council have done to me. Now, Darren had a caring role when all this nonsense was going on. That is they've created a severe disability that was never there in the first place. Because as I said, I did paid care work when I lived at home with my mother. I was meant to get basic support in the community. I didn't get that support, so I lived with that OCD undiagnosed clutter that they could have diagnosed. But that social worker landlord, who since died of cancer apparently, my flat will have to be fumigated because of you. And his brother, the support worker, what the fuck were you doing up on Beachy Head drunk, knowing I don't drink? When my mother was dying of cancer, I've had a lot of people. Who is this? Hello? Excuse me. All right. Excuse me. Sorry. I've been looking up properties. Do you mind if I speak to you a bit later? I've just got a very important. I'm having to speak about a very serious incident to the police. I'm sorry. Do you mind if I? Thank you very much. Sorry about that. Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye. See, I've been, I've viewed so many flats. Landlords have sold flats. People have taken them before. I very nearly got into a flat, and it was very bizarre. One of the letting agents gave it to someone else, even though I had a message to say we've got excellent news for you. So I honestly, and I haven't, I barely had any sleep. So yes, sorry. Yes, sorry. That was awkward. Yes, and I need to, because obviously I've been talking about a lot of things. The things that I've been telling you, they're relevant, but they're not relevant, if you know what I mean, because they're not relevant to this. But it's important that you hear this, because then you know that I've had years of torture. I was struggling, so pardon me, I was quietly struggling. You know, I was taking these scumbags that were being paid by adult social care and the council to support me. My mother cried for me. My mother was dying of cancer and she cried for me. She said they're supposed to be helping you. A second parent has died, and now I've had the worst beatings by your colleagues who are paid to serve and protect me, not push me to suicide. But that is exactly. And then you see me in A&E getting X-rays all night long, handcuffed on my back like this. Happy birthday, Bryony. Oh, by the way, Darren's a CUNT and you're an effing liar. And you know what? The bald-headed thug, PC Ford, even played my YouTube to me, talking to mock me like a troll, acting like an online troll. Your colleagues, I can't keep up with what has been done to me. Otherwise, I would have complaints coming out of my ears, left, right, and centre. But I'm trying not to end up having a stroke. I'm trying not to, whilst I'm being sexually harassed by other guests, because of course that's more, not that I'm mocking you, I'm not mocking you taking that seriously, but you see the irony here. I am crying to another hotel guest about war crimes, crimes against humanity, my freedom of speech. Kelly J. Keane isn't interested now, even though I had the bruises. So you now need to hear why you are now in my room right this minute. You now need to hear that, because this is it. This is the real reason why you are. You need to hear everything that I've just told you, but you need to hear this. Sorry, I just need to take a deep breath. Excuse me, because I'm just I'm running, as Ewan Morrison said, I'm running on empty. Where the hell has he been in all of these? He's supposed to be chasing up the council. They're not. They won't get the file out, so now they're doing it with this solicitor. So Eastbourne Borough Council are watching my YouTube. Police are watching me. Do you know what? There's a woman. In, I'm that vulnerable. I'm that frightened that I've just had 3 call handlers hang up on me. So you're a joke. I mean, come on, it's a sick joke. 3 call handlers hang up on me, and I'm that frightened. You need to hear this, because I could then go and put myself in a very dangerous situation with someone I don't know, because I've had a woman in Weatherspoons who's very kindly offered to help me, because the elderly man who knows my friend, my partner Darren, Terry, who went with me to the MP office about my freedom of speech. We're living in a democracy and all that. They don't care. Me and this elderly man, who's not in great health himself, we were both threatened with police just because we asked a Dr. Caro, who was meant to write a letter to the council, which I was going to pay for, just because we asked him to contact Ewan Morrison. That was it. All we did was say, and we weren't aggressive. I wasn't even speaking, I wasn't even raising my voice the way I'm raising my voice now. I was very calm. obviously angry. And I've got a threat of police and they've deregistered me. Hang on a minute. By law, the local authorities. And you know what's really interesting? Yes, that's okay. Jesse. Um, Amal did say to me, I have a friend in the police, and I said, no, 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 I don't want to report it. No, no, no. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Well, it's just crazy. I mean, it's like that, constant, constant, constant. I can't do anything. It's all this demented. I want to get out of this country. It's one toxic, narcissistic. Like Katie Hopkins said, this country is going to blow. I want it to happen. I'd be on the front line, but you see how extremely vulnerable I am. I'd like to be on the front line. Uh, I mean, I had a grandmother who lived through two world wars. My mother lived through one world war. Oh, people died for our freedoms. Excuse me. The only thing I have left, I've got no family. I'm being threatened with prison if I leave a card and flowers for my transgender sister. This is really serious because I think Darren told me to leave a card and flowers. Sorry, my hair's falling out. He told me to leave a card and flowers for my transgender sister. She is disabled. I didn't even know that she was disabled. I didn't know she needed help washing and dressing. Because I don't know what things have been done to. She's now living as a man. Okay, I knew she was transgender sister. Transgender support worker swore at me. I mean, it's just one thing after another. But because I'm lovely, Bryony, everyone says, I mean, Alan, if you ever see this, cool. Alan, whose father was a high ranking Freemason, who's well connected, he knows Ewan Morrison. Even he's like, look, I have to be very careful what I say, but I'm sick of men thinking they can treat me how they like. But, look, and I'm being very careful how I say this. But, if you say I'm a lovely lady and you start kissing and all of that. Now, his father was a high-ranking Freemason. Apparently, he in an interceptor. He stopped Princess Margaret from marrying Peter Townsend, not Pete Townsend of the Who. That's what I thought. I don't know. I'm ignorant. Sorry. I had a malicious communications letter, about 5 pages long, to the Strand Hotel, and I think it might be my eldest sister. Could be wrong. It said, "Dear Bam," and she's the only person who calls me Bam. It's describing my tiny titties. So I thought it might be from, and I mean this, I'm not joking, I thought it might be from PC Mufali or PC Howard May EB334 because they saw my teeny tiny titties, didn't they? I'm not joking, I'm being deadly serious about this. I swear, this is going to. Because I put all of this on YouTube for a reason. I'm careful how I do it these days. Yeah. Because I even had a hate card from to the address I've been locked out of from America. We hate Bryony Club. People are that sad that they will pause a video. I'm an amateur YouTuber. I'm not even someone who makes money or who's well known. I'm just me. I'm just me. It's sad.
It's a nice way of thinking about it. It's not nice, but
Been an eye opener.
I think in your circumstances, I've known you for a very long time.
Yes.
With your housing, I know you've been in lots of places in this life. You've moved on consistently. You've always tried to find that one place.
I have been, let's get this straight. I was attacked so badly to the point I thought I was going to be killed at 12 Belmore Road. I recorded elderly neighbours at the Riverbourne house supporting me. I recorded the next door neighbours supporting me. One, as I said, Sherelle Clark and Dion Clark, a mother and daughter, jailed for 5 years for mugging the elderly, released from prison so they've been released from prison 2 years earlier for doing the same thing. Why did the council? The question is, sorry to interrupt. The question is, PCE and Renix. Oh yeah. So it feels a bit strange because that's actually my late father's name. But no, that's okay. That's okay. It's okay. I had a childhood best friend whose father was called Ian, and I could never say Ian. My father's.
It's not my favourite name.
Oh no, I don't mean it in a funny way. It's a weird. It's like there was an enormous woman in the psychiatric unit who threatened to punch me in the face. She was vile. She was huge. Her name was my late mother's name, and my late mother was my soulmate, Sarah. It's just one of those things. Sorry, it just feels weird. Yes.
So what I was going to suggest is, obviously, as I said, you've lived around lives, you've been through you've had problems with money, you've had problems with Carolyn and Store and the housing. The list goes on.
A caring look. I do you know, I tell you what, I could see something happening when Darren was offered this caring role through Care for the Carers. His father was like, how do you feel about him being in a caring role? I never saw his father again. I haven't seen his parents for 9 years. I've slept rough. I said, I just went along with it. Now I knew, as an intelligent woman, I could see that this caring role could bring trouble. But could I have foreseen any of this? I've never known so much mental illness, so much demented behaviour in all my entire life, and I genuinely mean that. The police, the council, I look back and I think, if my mother was alive, she wouldn't believe it. My grandmother lived through 2 world wars. She was a teacher. She knew what my transgender sister was like. If she knew that I was being forced for refusing to call my sister a man. I mean, I've been beaten and sexually assaulted by war crimes on me. Now, the reason why I keep bringing up the attempted rape, now I never did this before. Because it didn't bother me before. It still doesn't bother me. I bring it up to make a point. And I'm not getting through to any of you though, am I? I'm not getting through to you, not you personally, the MP, the council, the police. No, because you just keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. I self-funded the Cavendish Hotel for 9 months for my safety. How? With backpip. A blessing from above. Because if I hadn't had that £7,000, oh, my alarm's gone off because I was hoping to get some sleep. No, sorry, I'm not taking that out on you. This is, I'm not taking it out on you. It's just my alarm. I just calmed down a bit. I was attacked to the point where I thought I would be killed. My life has been destroyed by Eastbourne Borough Council. I've been publicly libelled. I came very close to suing the Herald. The legal ombudsman tried to wait. Do you hear this? Another humdinger for you. The legal ombudsman tried to get me compensation from Cramp and Mullany when you lot libelled me in the Herald, said that I assaulted you. When you dragged me, your officers dragged me out of the Beachy Head pub, said that I was running all over Beachy Head. Really? What, just in that little square just outside the Beachy Head pub? I've been told to sit down and wait to be served a cup of tea, and the Beachy Head pub menu actually followed me into the cells. But it doesn't matter because I've got so many problems. It's unbelievable. But now it's okay. I get it because I now know why so many people in this country and anywhere take drugs. I've never taken drugs, and I now understand why so many of our Indigenous people are out there dying on the streets, because technically speaking, I should be one of them. And I am fighting tooth and nail for survival at a basic level. I can't call you lot up if I'm being attacked or assaulted, especially as a rape victim, as someone who went to Hove Crown Court and put someone in prison and on a sex offenders register, and now you're arresting me in 2021 and 2020. Yes, it was 2021 to the current date. I asked, and I only had to ask that man nicer not to be rude to me. All I said. Never had a problem with him before. He's always been a grumpy little so-and-so. Never had a problem with him, though. But because I told him not to be rude to me. Oh, boo-hoo-hoo. Let's call the police. And who turned up? PC Mark Vittler. Oh, wait for it. Apart from you, PC Ian Williams, he was the only other officer I had any respect for it. And now it's gone. Completely. From Mark. He turned up with the very officer who sexually assaulted me, PC Howard May, EB334, who exposed my breasts because I had. Oh, but you haven't looked into this, have you? This is another thing you haven't looked into. The malicious communications letter that describes my teeny tiny titties and says something sexual about Darren putting his hand down his trousers, but you haven't looked into that. No, because I've had when I received that malicious communications letter, I had a threat of assault from the Strand Hotel manager. I've opened up to the overseas hotel owner of the Majestic Hotel. I go, you know what, I could be here forever. I could be here forever. Do you know what? The manager has got a load of my things behind his. I've got bags of stuff, bags of paperwork because of what you lot have done to me. And this is where I need to get to that. I am recording this. Yes, I am. Because what you are about to hear, I'm putting my life on this. Because I tell you, this is going to blow. This involves my family. Flesh and blood. I love my transgender sister. She's disabled. Sorry, I need to take a glass of some water here. Excuse me. Right. So, I'll give you a timeline, okay? Keep calm. So, last year, so on the 5th of July, the landlady illegally locked me out of the house after a. Sorry, it's my alarm. I'll switch it off, otherwise it will annoy me. So on the 5th of July last year, the landlady locked me out of the house. She just doesn't care. She even told the judge, you'll have to send me to prison then, because this demented, deluded maniac like you lot, who wanted to help me write a book, and then went and did that, and her foul-mouthed, oh yes, isn't it funny how the CUNT word is thrown around? You don't arrest people for that because your own officers are calling my partner, beating me, calling my partner a CUNT. Well, I had a school teacher tenant call me a CUNT. That's on YouTube. I said something to her school, Ratton School. I don't know if it's true, if it's absolutely true that she's a Ratton School teacher, but that's what the elderly tenant told me. And the pair of them were like, all three of them were like children. The landlady is only a year younger than what my mother would be. She's 86. And, well, you know what they say about narcissists, they get worse with age. I know because I did care work with the elderly. But this woman wanted to help me write a book. She used to be a hospital matron. My 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 niece took her own life because of listen to her. That's fine. But then every time I made a complaint about something broken, it was my fault. And she just happens to be friends with the same property managers who covered up my life being in danger along with Eastbourne Police at 12 Belmore Road. And I had a threat from the council to stay away. I mean, if you want, I could even play you the recording. When you lot are here, I know it's the uniform, I know it's all of that, but wait till you. I want you to hear this while I'm. Where is it? I always keep it on the right. Right, this is 3 o'clock in the morning on the 29th of April 2021. 29th of April 2021, 3:11 in the morning. Wait till you hear this. Because I played this to Kelly J. King and that lot, and then I get turned up with bruises over my free. Ooh. This is a call to 999. You weren't there though.
No, I remember it coming in.
Oh.
I was on duty.
Well, this is my 999 call. I won't play you the whole thing because I'll be here forever, but you get the point. Please. Right. But I'll just tell you because you don't need to hear all of it. But even the call handler says he can hear her banging on the door. I'm locked in the bathroom. I'm terrified for my life. She's a criminal on a tag. I had a sheltered, when I say sheltered upbringing, I don't mean I'm a withering, I'm not a wallflower. When I say I've had a sheltered life, I mean I'm not a criminal. I don't, I don't like being around people at the best of times, but do you know what I mean? I've I've had a sheltered middle class upbringing, a very, very good upbringing. My mother had a privileged upbringing during the war. She was adopted, she travelled the world. To them, I had a silver spoon in my mouth. I know because I heard Cheryl Clark say it. I got them to install CCTV right outside my room. Charles Lucas Property Management and the police covered it up. We can't find it. We can't find it. Julie, I can't trust. I'm not safe with it. Having you here is still recording it. Having you here in my room to let you in is a big thing for me. Now, the woman who said, I appreciate it's a big thing for you, she hung up on me. I've had I've had 3 call handlers terminate my call. Yeah, the last one said that you were turning up, but she still terminated. I'm worn out. I've been giving all this information to these call handlers. I said, where? Now, the reason why I'm in a heightened state right now is because I need that email evidence from PC Wellham. PC Wellham rang me from a mobile number. Right, sorry. Okay, I'm in a heightened state. PC Wellham rang me from a mobile number to say we've dropped the case because in 6 days' time, on the 19th of August, I am wanted for a bogus. I've been released on bail conditions, but now they've dropped it. And this is what I need to tell you about because I have been tortured. I've been, yeah, this is I'm in a heightened state, obviously, because I'm, venting. So, so the main reason. So you need to everything I've told you. Whilst you don't, this is, whatever. It's still all serious because it's all to do with the same thing: being vulnerable, being I can't ring you if my. The overseas hotel owner was telling me what he had been through with the police, how he had so much evidence. The owner of the Majestic Hotel was telling me after. Alan, if you ever get to see this, and I don't think you will. Oh, I don't want to get involved with the police in case they target me. Oh, but you want to speak out about the sexual abuse from your headmaster from a boys' school. Stop it. Don't kiss me and do what all these men say. Oh, you're a lovely lady. I love you. Bollocks. Bollocks. If you're going to expose something. Get your ass onto that radio station and speak out about it. I'm talking to Alan, who claims to be one of the most well-connected people in Sussex, the one whose father was that high-ranking Freemason who was an interceptor who stopped Thingy from marrying Princess Margaret. All these people who have just stood back. I rang Alan in distress. He knows Josh Buberundi, the local MP. Sorry. Sorry, I'm. Yeah. So I keep what tends to happen is when I start venting, I start something and then I don't finish because of the distress. I said I was going to give you a timeline and then I went off in other directions. This is very, very serious. That if I give you a brief timeline of what has happened regarding what I need your help with, because I would rather die than go be made a political prisoner. I know there are people all over in our country. I wish Donald Trump was here. Honest, I mean that. I've had enough of this. Because this hotel guest that you want to investigate for sexual harassment, as I said, there's an irony because I was crying to him saying I do not want to be made a political prisoner. Yes. So number one, let's start. Okay, let's just start with number. So when these call handlers were hanging up on me because they said we'll get someone out to you, I said why can't you just look it up on the system? We don't have the information. I said you've got everything about. You forced me to take. They've taken my fingerprints. They've taken my. Yes. This is the trauma. This speaking. Yeah. Okay. Because they wouldn't answer this simple question. They said speak to the officers, so I'll speak to you. Why? Now, and this is partly rhetorical. I understand you can't. Why? Now, Darren is saying the email is there. I can't find it in my junk. From PC Wellham. Evidence. I said I'd like it in writing that you have dropped this case. I need an email. Sorry, I need it in writing. No, this is just. Sorry, I can't. It's a miracle that I can remember the badge numbers. I've had to wire my brain to remember. Yeah, yeah. So it's anxiety. I think it was Wellham. I think it was Welham. I think. I don't know. I assume. I wish I'd recorded the call. I've been released on bail. I've got paper. That is why I was telling this hotel guest I would rather die. I told Darren I'd rather die. It's all fake anyway, but she's saying it's all been dropped. Everyone's just driven me insane.
You want confirmation from Mrs. Wellen that it's been dropped.
This is from because I'm that frightened. I'm that frightened that a woman I don't know, only just met, she said that the Freemasons are after me. I know how to deal with them. I've had it. I will write a letter to the CPS for you. I'm literally, you get what I'm saying? I don't trust anyone. Yeah, I'm just saying. Um, that was the December one. I can't even take it anything in. This is why Darren took a caring role, because he walked into my disability, which has been added to. That's the one from December. This is all apparent. I'm supposed to have a letter. Here you are. No, this is 19th of June. Okay. I'm supposed to have it in writing. She's supposed to email me to say that this has all been dropped. Thank you. To wake people up. Yeah.
If you search under the lady, was November maybe? On the 10th. There it is.
It's very serious because she's saying it's been dropped. I don't need to attend. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I look for the record. I know I've diverted and I've raised my voice and as I said, the call handlers who are obstreperous. Darren is right. They're very antagonistic. It's This is why I say it then makes me think. Gosh, you know, I'd rather do. What my partner's done is nothing compared to all of this stuff. Yes, you have. I really must have it in writing that I do not need to attend on the 19th. Because can I just say to you, and I won't keep I won't keep you here for hours. It's all right. I'll just say it in a nutshell. Well,
I've got the right job here.
it's definitely WEL. Seems to know what they do. It's like putting your. Why do you when you've got someone who's extremely vulnerable? If you're not safe with the police, You're not safe with the council. Your local MP doesn't care about you. Your local MP. This country is finished. We're heading towards civil war. We're going to be a third world country. I'm. I was going to. I'm very frightened. I'm genuinely frightened. I can't rely on Darren because of. Yeah. Sorry. It's anxiety. Thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate it. You appreciate that also because I've been lied to so many times by this Mr. Holden who Marion said on YouTube, she said he married the 74-year-old victim of sexual.
It's not an L, it's an N. I know who it is. She's not in until tomorrow. Right.
Yeah, she was meant to do that. Darren said it's in my junk. Now, can I just say for the record, what did I just say? My brain is going to mush. My brain is going to mush.
I've definitely got your right email as well.
A minute, I'll just.
Process@live.co.uk.
Sorry, I didn't mean to be rude. Just shushing the police officer. It's just my email. Good. I'm trying to be very careful about my own safety because obviously I want to protect not just myself, everyone else. Like, despite how I'm feeling about my sister and my partner, this is all very, very, listen, there is something inherently wrong. I don't care if it's the Freemasons, GCHQ, or what. I couldn't give a flying what's it. But I was going to let this lady from Weatherspoons have this paperwork and someone I don't know write a letter to the CPS. And I thought, no, that's not a good idea because what? Get a complete stranger. Yeah, so you get. Yeah, you see, I'm just letting you know how frightening it is because when you've got all of, when you're, you're fighting, you're swimming in corruption. Anyway, so I do appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. I am what I am. Thank you. No, I know. Because look, I'm in a weird position because I'm in Stockholm syndrome. So I'm not showing you as maybe as angry as I could be, but I also do still appreciate everything you're saying to me, and I also really genuinely do, and I'm not just saying this. Appreciate what you said at the start about that you didn't agree with what was done to that animal rights. Yeah. Well, I won't. Yeah. Yeah, but I saw for myself that she was assaulted. I'm just saying, and she was. But anyway, but yeah, like you said, yeah. But anyway, all I'll say is I appreciate what you said, but that you were doing something that you were told to. But then again, there is that thing of you know, you don't following orders thing. But I don't know. It's okay. I know I said a million times. I said I diverted. I said, could I just give you a brief timeline? And I promise it will just be like that. It will be brief because I'm being deadly serious. This is my life. My life has been destroyed here. So I appreciate you have to go to whatever you have to go to, but hello, this, and I'm not being rude, my life has been destroyed here, and this has left me thinking with lots of unanswered questions, because something is inherently wrong here, and I mean inherently wrong. I am being abused. This abuse is coming from somewhere. If it's not from one person or several, it doesn't matter. This involves the police, and it also involves Eastbourne Borough Council, and everyone's passing the buck. Darren was shouting at me in my room about Ewan Morrison, and he has been controlling. I didn't press charges over him assaulting me outside his flat. He's looking after valuables of mine, but I have also got genuine concerns about his controlling behaviour, and he knows that because I've said that. But everyone right now is passing the buck. I've had crimes against humanity committed on me. So here's your timeline, and I will keep it brief for you, and I will not divert. So in August, on the 8th of August, District Judge Harper told the landlady he could put her in prison. And that demented woman, there's something not right. These people are all unhinged. Yes, I'm diverting, sorry. But it's played. Yeah, sorry. So, and he said, well, you have to send me to prison. And then he got funny with me, and I was holding his. Yes. He told me to go to Mr. Holden to get the committal papers. Then on the 15th of August, because this is really very, very, because the police and the council, everything's connected. I promise, yeah, no, I am. On the 15th of August, I went down to see Monique Prescott at the hub, because the council, who work closely with you lot, had not been providing me with accommodation by law. So Darren and I went to Monique Prescott. They gave me the room at Rylestone Road. And that very night, I was just shattered to pieces. And it just happened to be the day before my transgender sister's birthday. We were just happened to be in Wetherspoons. I hadn't seen my transgender sister for years. Now I'm calling her my transgender sister, which I never used that word before. It was just my sister. Yeah, okay. It was just my sister. They turn up, she and her support worker. And I was in shock. My jaw was on the ground because I hadn't seen her for a long time, but more so because she was on crutches. Now, this is very difficult because I don't want to say anything. I would never say anything to embarrass or humiliate my transgender sister. I know her as Bronya, and I know her as her, and that's not going to change. And I'm not even going to go there with that, okay? If my mother, she even said to me she waited till my mother had died before doing this. She because she knew that my mother wouldn't agree with it. So would you put an 87-year-old in handcuffs for refusing to call her own daughter a daughter? No, I don't think so, unless you really are that sick. But then, you know, I've seen all the sickness I need to see. Now, I was in tears from just seeing her because I love my sister, because I'm not unlike all these psychopaths and sociopaths and narcissists. I genuinely love my sister. No, you need to hear this. You do need to hear this. No, you do need to see this, because my YouTube channel has been criminalised illegally by your colleagues. So this is extremely serious. I made a video with the title saying, I love my sister no matter what. And they tried to turn that into hatred, which is very Masonic. It's very Masonic to turn something into, to flip it, to invert love. All of this. Every Crampton Mullany. The legal ombudsman tried to get me compensation from Crampton Mullany because of what your officers did to me on Beachy Head when I was suicidal in 2020, and then I was libelled in the Herald. And this was leading up to going into a supported flat of 4 months, then getting news my father had died, then being locked out of my flat, then being beaten by the police, leading me to see you. I haven't even. I've only just scratched the surface with all of this. I'm not angry at you. I am traumatized permanently. I know. Look, I know you have to go, and I'm not going to take up your time, and I appreciate you've said you're going to do what you're going to do, and thank you very much for that. But please, would you just, I mean, does this matter or doesn't it? Either it does or either it doesn't. It does or it doesn't. Well, could you please let me finish then? Because I am reporting sexual assault by your officers, which I have to, and this is what I said to the call handler who terminated the call. I said, I do not want this to be treated as a diversion, because when what I've told you about another hotel guest here, I was crying to him about what your colleagues have done to me, and it's been ongoing. So please, can I just at least extend me the courtesy of just finishing the trauma, telling you the trauma of what your officers have pushed me to suicide, because they're a joke. The Free Speech Union have let me down. But then I hear they're giving people the wrong legal advice. So,
I'm happy to listen to I can give you information about how to make all complaints about.
Look, very serious false allegations have been made about me and my sister, right? And I need to know who and where it's come from. I know they won't disclose it, but I would never shout transphobic. Now that word is not in my. But I will say this: even if I had shouted hateful comments, which I would never do because I love my sister, that's not even a crime anyway. It's not a crime to be to. But I didn't, and I wouldn't. I walked with my sister. This is really, really serious. This needs a forensic investigation. I'm losing my voice. This needs a forensic investigation because my sister, I walked with her. She's had an aneurysm. She told me to read her Facebook message. She told me to read her Facebook message. I hadn't read it for years. But when I did read it, it said I've got a life-threatening, something about what could be an aneurysm that was caused by the migraines caused by the loss of our mother. She said that she needed help washing and dressing. I hadn't seen her in this state. Her support worker swore at me. You see, this is what I'm telling you right now.
So what we can do is who's dealing with this case, I get them contact you. Email address.
Look, this. No, I know it's very emotional. I know that, but the thing is, a lot has been done to me. A lot has happened. There have been forced. I was asked to attend a voluntary interview. Well, first of all, I had reported common assault in September. I'm giving you the timeline. So in September, while I was in this temporary accommodation, once again I reported a threat of common assault from another resident. in September, PC Wilkins said we're investigating it, and then 5 days later, I was arrested. They were trying to remove the door to my room. These demented people from Lilybank Homes. No one is support. What are you? Are you? But who is going to listen to this? What do I do with this? Oh, no, sorry. You don't have enough officers to deal with crimes because they're too busy. 2 vans, two police cars plus a van, just for me, over a voluntary interview I turned down. Bail conditions, sexual assault. My sister said she was going to contact a mediator. I walked with her to the bus stop with my arm round her. What would you suggest I do? Because it's no good, it's not enough to leave someone who's already traumatized and extremely vulnerable. Well, you've given me right. I've got it on video that you've given me your word that you and sorry, what's your name? Is it Prangnell? Prangnell. Sorry.
And I love to see you on telly. Honestly, I would, but I do have to go. I'm really sorry that I can't give you more time.
EW241. So, may I have your
Echo Bravo 7.
Echo Bravo? I won't remember. 718. Echo Bravo 718. See, I'm just. You've given me your word that you're going to get this PC what is Wellham? Wenham. Oh, I thought she said Wellham. This is the stress that I'm. It's because I'm under all this stress. It's no good doing all these things to someone with false allegations over a civil matter. This was a civil matter. Listen, Darren suggested that I leave a card and flowers for my sister, right? He even said how he commented on how wonderful it was that I hugged my sister so that people could see. So that then made me think, is he behind this? Because I put my arms around her and she's alleging that it embarrassed her, but she's still going to get a mediator. But it was her support worker who swore at us, and I walked with her to the bus stop. I never shouted at her. Where's all of this coming from? That's where someone. Well, I need answers. I'm sorry to raise my voice, but I'm very pleased to hear that you are going to get this PC Wenham to email me. I appreciate that. But it still leaves me. How can you knock on someone's hotel room door and say, would you like to come for a voluntary interview? No, you're a corporate entity. I'm turning it down. No, thank you. Well, if you don't, we'll have to turn up at a later date and force you. And that is what they did. How can you call it voluntary? How can you say it's one thing and then say it's another? Bail conditions, voluntary. It's just left me. I've got mental frailty. I mean, this would unhinge the most. This would just do anyone in. You put yourself in my position. Put yourself in my position. I'm in shock that I've got a assistant.
Right, I'm really sorry, but we've got to go. Okay.
I've never seen her with
I'm really sorry.
with what you've got. I won't say it. I won't say it. I won't say it because I don't want to embarrass my sister. She's talking about a life-threatening condition. And what I'm trying to say to you is, please just let me just say, that then I don't need to attend on the 19th of August. Where is Ewan Morrison, the MP caseworker? Where's other social care? Where's anybody? What I'm trying to say to you is, I spoke to a PC hall and the life, what do you call them? The lifeguard people, what do you call them? The coast guard. Saying, I just can't, because I'm terrified. So that I can keep having call handlers hang up on me. You see my, look, all I want is, there's nothing more I can say, is there? Even emails aren't enough. I mean, word, I'm definitely going to get that. I need it in writing. Because I've been threatened with prison if my desk sergeant, if I leave a card and flowers for my disabled sister who's talking about life. I have not been to my late mother's flat since she died in 2009. Look, someone needs to deal with this. Ewan Morrison. Yes. All right, thank you. So there we go. They're walking away from this because it's, even if PC Wenham does email me to say what would I need, and I appreciate that he's now doing what he said he would do, and I do genuinely appreciate that the welfare officer PC Ian Williams did not want to arrest that animal rights activist on YouTube who was assaulted in Lewes. And you can see it for yourself on YouTube. He was just following orders. They're all following orders, though. People's lives are being destroyed. People's lives are really, really being destroyed. I've had my life completely and utterly destroyed by Eastbourne Borough Council and Eastbourne Police. So, the incident with my partner, controlling behaviour, is serious. Of course. Otherwise I wouldn't have reported it. But like I said, I've had my life completely destroyed. Sexual assault, exposing my breasts, arrests. If someone needs help, just help them. Nothing is fit for purpose. Nothing. None of the charities, none of the support. All of this should never have happened. Someone somewhere has made a report. Just no one knows their arse from their elbow. I've just been telling the welfare officer that I reported common assault, and 5 days later I was arrested on false allegations over my human rights, and it's all because I wouldn't call my sister a man. But there are very serious false allegations. Now, unless my sister is completely deluded, which she isn't, well, I hope she isn't, but the allegations seem to be coming from her, obviously, and or her support worker. Do not contact your sister. He's just left me in distress. I've had 3 call handlers terminate my call. 3 police call handlers. Because I need to know if I can still, I haven't been to my late mother's flat since she died in 2009. I need to know if I'm allowed to go to my late mother's flat without being arrested. I'm not saying I will go there to visit my sister after all of this, but a lot of questions need answering here. I literally left it when I last the incident where they're making all these false allegations of harassment and all this rubbish, it's coming from somewhere, and I'm not being protected, and they're just using the hotel guest here as a diversion. Some man in this hotel who made advances. He didn't do anything really serious. He just kissed me and hugged me. But I was crying to him about what the police have done about all of this. These are war crimes. This is so, so serious. And it's going to fall on someone's head. It's going to fall on someone's head. Now, they won't tell me anything. They won't tell me who has made these false allegations. Darren is saying to me, "Do you really think that that I would do that? Do you really think?" But he's being controlling in the meantime. Because I've just rung the police initially to report my partner being controlling. He's got my possessions in his flat. I'm not being supported by anyone at all. But I'm being attacked by a lot of mentally ill, insecure individuals. Clearly, obviously. Now the reason why I'm in such a heightened state is because I had 3 call handlers terminate my call. They couldn't even tell me anything about me. They couldn't tell me about the bail conditions. They couldn't tell me about this PC Wenham, who was supposed to email me to say, "We've dropped, you don't need to come in for an interview on the 19th of August in 6 days' time." They weren't telling me anything. But whilst I'm relieved, the trauma of all of this, it's no good her saying, "We're sorry what we've put you through." They've put me through 9 years of torture. 9 years of torture. Torture. Unless you really understand the true definition of torture. And like I said, the people that you're supposed to go to about this corruption, Kelly J. Keane, I had the bruises all over my arms. She didn't want me to speak again. And it was one of the women who told me to go to the Free Speech Union, and they're useless. They're all giving people the wrong legal advice. It's all nonsense. It's just nonsense. So I get my therapy from watching what's going on YouTube. Because I'm up to date with what's going on with all the nonsense out there. And I want to be there at the Freedom Rally in September. That's another reason why I don't want to be made a political prisoner. Obviously, that's not the main reason. Because I just wouldn't survive. There's something inherently wrong here, though. This gaslighting. What have they got to hide? Why do they suddenly, "We're called away, we've got to go to another incident"? No, they haven't. That's bollocks. I'm sorry, PC Ian Williams. I appreciate what you told me, but none of you can be trusted. Yes, you didn't want to arrest the animal rights activist, even though we could all see that the fox hunter had assaulted her whilst leaving a baby in a pram. And it's all on YouTube for the whole world to see. But you're gaslighting me because I've had 3 call handlers hang up on me. You're just using my partner as a pawn. It's narcissistic abuse. So if my partner has assaulted me, oh, you would love it if I pressed charges against my partner, because then it would take all the onus and all the spotlight off you for all your crimes, your sexual assault of me, your war crimes on us the people. That's just not good enough. He's done one little thing that the call handlers could have done to get an email. That's all. I've been on here for over 2 hours. 2 hours. That's minus. I feel like I could collapse. I was on the phone for a total of nearly an hour, being hung up on 3 times by 3 different police call handlers. I recorded the calls. So in total, it's been about 3 hours. But he probably thinks he's doing something amazing. Wow, but it's one minute. I'm in Stockholm syndrome. I'm a broken woman. They've broken me, and you can see the evidence. And I want Donald Trump to know about this. I don't care what people have to hide. Bronya, I'm speaking to you if you see this. I do love you. And it's interesting because it was at that point that PCE and Williams didn't want to hear. It was at the point that I was saying, I love you, Bronya. And I do. You're my sister. I love you. And I will die loving you. You know what? Despite how Darren has abused me again, and he's saying he's got nothing to do with this. Well, it's very strange that, because I've got no friends or family. And he was the one who suggested I leave a card and flowers for you. So why did I then get a threat of prison if I leave a card and flowers for you? Really? You surely don't hate me that much. Surely. Surely. I mean, what would Mum say? What would Grandma say? Seriously, what is going on here? I can't even read the text message from Tanya. I've got an unread text message from Tanya. I can't read it because it's too traumatic. I just can't. Well, it's not that it's traumatic. I just can't cope. In the same way that I didn't read the message from you on the Facebook. You wanted me to read that Facebook message, and then I read the Facebook message, and then the police are beating and assaulting me over a civil matter, telling me not to text you. A text message I sent on the 6th of December. I don't even remember sending you a text on the 6th of December. I thought you guys had more of a life than me. I'm trying to survive here. I'm homeless. I've got a landlady who should be in prison. So, yeah, it's very interesting. Very interesting, all of this. I can't rely on Darren. I can't rely on anyone. So I have got to be brave and fearless from now on. I really have. Because if Darren can swear at me, he's just been using the F word at me after telling me not to touch sausage rolls. There's no excuse for abuse, not even OCD. So I'm going to text Darren. No, not Darren. I'm going to text Charlie because I'd already said to Darren in the middle of the night, I said, why did you delete the message from Charlie? Charlie was meant to apologise to me. I never touch Darren's phone, but he's always touching my phone. So it's kind of ironic, really, because he's the one who's telling me to pray to Abba Yahweh, and I am. And I'm being tortured through all of this, but it's all right because there's a reason why I'm here. It's all coming to the surface. Everything is coming to the surface. I'm a survivor. Yes, it was Darren who suggested I leave a card and flowers for you. I didn't. I haven't been to Mum's flat where you are living, where my mother died in 2009. I haven't been there since Mum died. In fact, if you remember rightly, Bronya, you you were so horrible to me that first Christmas without my mother after Mum's death that I went, and funnily enough, I went into a man's flat and he was touching me. And I was texting Robert saying, "Can you help get me out of this sticky situation?" And I went and slept rough on the seafront. So I was trying to keep away from my transgender sister because of her bullying towards me after Mum died. And now this is just turning into attention seeking, really, isn't it? But no questions have been answered. I've left voice messages for. In fact, I'll leave another one now for Ewan Morrison. I'm contacting the MP office again. It will just be another voice message, another one that will be ignored. I've left hundreds. It'll just be another one of many. Oh. I can barely function. This country is finished. I want everyone in the world to see all of this. There's no genuine sympathy or disgust. I've just never known anything like it. I'm being very, very nice about what's been done to me. Right, JB0159. This is yet another voice message for Ewan Morrison and Josh Buberendi, MP for Eastbourne. Yeah, I've just had the police here. I've filmed everything. Initially, I reported a domestic incident with my partner, but this is what I've had to report. Involved is about the police, the council, everything. So, sexual assault by the police, physical assault, the beatings, and trying to get an email from PC Wenham, an email in writing to say they've dropped this false case against me to do with my free speech. I'm still very distressed because whilst PC Ian Williams, badge number CW1, has done as I requested, I'm still obviously distressed about everything else that has happened, and no explanation. No explanation who's made these false allegations over a civil matter. Nothing is being explained. It's still lies. They were more interested in taking evidence of my report of sexual harassment in this hotel. And the irony is that I went to that hotel guest in tears about how you've all failed me and talking about taking my own life. So it's just ironic, really, isn't it? But there we go. That's the way it is. You know, I've survived what most people don't. People just don't survive what I have They just don't. And you're just ignoring every voice message that I leave. You're not doing anything. You're deliberately ignoring all of this. Just deliberately, you know, if you wanted to, you'd get back to me. Darren was even getting aggressive to me about Ewan Morrison not getting back to me. He was shouting at me about you not getting back to me. And now I've had to report yet another domestic incident, because last time I was in tears to you about leaving a voice message about him assaulting me for no reason. This is, everyone's just passing the buck, not my problem. It's never anyone's problem until something tragic happens. Do I feel like going on? Do I, hell? Because, you know, my partner can encourage my faith, but he's just going to carry on emotionally. He's not respecting me. Controlling behaviour. No one in the community is helping me by law. By law, social services should be helping me. They haven't. They exploited me when my mother was dying of cancer, and now this stuff to do because I won't call my sister a man, and trying to get them, fighting hard to get them to drop their war crimes against me. It's war crimes. It's war crimes. It's as serious as it gets. Abia. Well, I will still say the name of Abia. Well, I'll still say it. Um, Abiyahwa bless Tommy Robinson. And you know what? I'm going to text Darren's funny friend. Honestly, there's so much that they're just not helping me with. There are things that I haven't even said to PCE and Williams that I need help with, but they haven't got the time. That's adult social care, and no one's ever going to do anything. They've exploited me. They've destroyed my life. I've said it all in this video. And a landlady who should be in prison, but they've tortured me. Oh, oops, we made a mistake. No, trying to get people on. Well, I've seen it all on YouTube. That I've seen some horrific things that I was going to say in a YouTube video, but I don't have the energy. I just want to lie down now. This legal aid solicitor is supposed to ring me. I've just had enough of it all.